Hi, this is Catherine from In the Pink Designs. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today's project is a card using the new Jar of Flowers stamp set and punch. And as you can see, there's little beads in the inside of the little cup. And I don't know if you can see, I put several layers. Well, not several. 2.5 layers of flowers on there so that it came forward a little bit because this jar sticks up quite a bit. And then you can put whatever sentiment you want inside. Okay, so we start with, we need a card base. And I used a piece of the Regal 6x6 Designer Series paper because it wasn't the flower paper that goes with this suite was not available when the pre-order was done. I can order it now, so I'm going to have to go and do another pre-order. Okay, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. I have a piece of old olive that is 3 by 4 1/4. And then, let's see, the stamp set. This is the stamp set Jar of Flowers. And today I'm going to be doing the jar and this like roses image and the stems too. And the jar on one side has the outline and then the little marks that you would see like on a reflection on glass. And then you can flip it over and use it this way to just make a solid jar. But today I'm going to be doing this way. And then they have a piece where you can fill the jar halfway, solid or with the lines. Okay, that's what we're going to do today. And they also have a little cap too if you want to put a cap on it. And this is the jar punch. And it does come in a bundle, so you can save a little money that way. Okay, what I first did was I stamped the flower image once fully, and then I needed a single of this rose and another piece that had this rose, and I just kind of fussy cut around the whole thing, and then I fussy cut around 2 of the flowers. Now the rose I colored with Rococo Rose light and dark markers. The little flowers up here I colored with Balmy Blue and a blender pen. The eucalyptus looking leaves I colored with Mossy Meadow. And these leaves I colored with Pear Pistache. Okay. And I just fussy cut all 3 of them. Now, what we need to do is we need a piece of Whisper White. And we're going to stamp our jar with Memento Black ink. Okay, and I'm doing not the solid side. This. Okay. And then we need to do the stems. And with the stems, they really, I didn't go up past the ring because they don't really, they fit. If you put them all the way up, they'll be kind of hanging up here, the ends of them. So I'm going to put them just right up to this bottom line. Okay. And then we just have to let that dry a little bit. And this is Old Olive. Okay. And you could do this flat side with Pool Party a stamping pad. and put it down here, and it'll make it look like it's half full of water. I don't have the pool party stamp pad yet, so what I do have is the Stampin' Blend of let's see what it is. It says it on here. It is light pool party. I have the light one. So that's what I'm going to do with it. After I use my blender pen on these leaves, on the stems, I'm just going to spread it a little bit so that just kind of spread the ink in there a little, just to give the middle part of it a little tint. Just using the ink from the sides that I stamped it with. It just gives it a little tint of green. Okay. And then, as soon as we get that to reasonably dry, that's when I'm going to come in with my light pool party Stampin' Blend. Now, if you have the pool party stamp pad, you could use that little piece and just stamp it in there, or you could just leave it plain. You don't really need to. But I'm going to go from about here and then just across quick. Catch everything. And then it looks like there's some water in that jar. Okay, now, while that's sitting a minute, what we have to do, now I could, the jar punch only goes up so far. So if you wanted to have it on just your main matte piece, it would have to be pretty low. So what I did was I took another piece on top of that, and I'm just going to put it in, and I'm going to make sure all the way to as far as I can push it, and I'm going to make sure that it's in evenly on the sides. And then I'm just going to punch it. You can save this for another card. Okay. Now the next thing we want to do is put it about where you think you want it on your card. There we go. That's how I want it. And you take a pencil and you're going to just lightly trace around the jar. Yeah, I can see it. No, I don't know if I can see it. I'm going to do it a little darker. No, that's not right either. There we go. I think that's right, right? Okay. You're just going to go around the side so that you can see about where it goes. And then I'm just going to take an eraser and take off any little bits I might have got on the edges. Okay. And then we're going to put down our jar. So what we want to do is punch out our jar that we previously colored. Okay. And what we're going to do is glue it right there, right over where we traced. sure I've got it right. Just check. Great. Okay. And now we're going to get out our mason jar shaker domes. They come in a pack. I'm not sure how many. A bunch. You get a bunch. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You get a 10 of them in a package. Okay, and what we want to do first is glue it to this piece of paper. And it is adhesive, so we just peel up the front top piece of it, adhesive. Okay. We're just going to pop it in. Now, I'm getting out my Flowers for Every Season gems. And I didn't use the Just Jade paper because I don't have it yet. So I kind of just picked out the white ones. And to be honest with you, I really don't think that these are the best value. Because I think they're $6 for this little jar. And I think that there are things we probably have around that are probably a better value. But these do match the colors. That's the one thing. But I just wanted to let you know that. Okay. They are nice, but I wanted to be honest with you. Okay. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to put these down in the middle so that they're not touching the sides where the adhesive is going to come along and touch. I put only a little in that other one. I think I wanted more in this one. Okay, there we go. You could put glitter, sprinkles, whatever you like in there. And then we're going to peel this and add some glue on. I guess you could, I could have put some tear and tape on here before I added in the jar, if you don't want to use liquid glue. Okay. And we're going to just flip this over so that it goes right on top of the jar. Oops. And a little bit of glue over here. That's why it's probably better to put some tear and tape on, because then you don't have to mess with any liquid glue. When you're trying to flip things over, it gets harder. Okay. And now we have our little jar with the shaker beads in it. Isn't that cute? Love that. Okay, now comes the pieces. Now I stamped it one time and I colored with Rococo Rose light and dark blends. The lighter leaves I did with Pear Pizzazz and a blender pen. The eucalyptus-like ones I did with Old Mossy Meadow. Okay? And these ones I think I did with Mossy Meadow also. All right, so we're going to just adhere this as close down to the top as we can get. Okay. Okay, I made an error. I'm going to pop this down, and as you can see, I made this a 1/4 inch too short, but the measurement that it should be was 4.5 by 3. I made this one 4.25 by 3, which made the whole card kind of off from this, but it really looks okay. So when you follow the measurements that I put on my blog, this is how the paper will look. This is a little bit closer at the top, but it's okay. We're going to roll with it. Okay, then I have these 2 pieces that I stamped separately and cut out, and I also colored with Rococo Rose Light and Dark. And what we're going to use for these is our dimensionals. Now this one to the right, well, your left now? No, to the right. You'll see it as the right. I'm just going to put 2 dimensionals on. We're going to put that on. And just cover exactly where it is on the first bottom one. Okay, now the other piece, there it is. We're going to put this up a little bit. You see how this piece what we're going to do is I'm going to put 1 dimensional on the back and stack 2 on the back, on 1 dimensional on the bottom of this, and then stack 2 on the top parts. So I'm going to only put 1 down here, and then I'm going to put 2 up here, and I'm going to stack them too. So it's actually going to be 4 on just the top part. And I just ran out of dimensionals. So. Okay. It's so cool using a brand new pack. Simple things, right? Okay. Now I'm stuck. Okay, there was 1. And if you notice, I have given up on my nails. I usually paint them myself, but once a month I go and I get them shaped and in better condition, and they polish them for me. And then when that wears off, I'll polish them myself probably for the rest of a couple more weeks, and then I'll go back to get a little bit more put on shaping again. All right, so we're going to put this over it again. And as you can see, that where the 1 dimensional is a little bit lower, and then you go follow it up, and there's 2 under there. I just did that because when I put it on flat and I use this shaker thing, I don't like how far up it is, and this way it brings the flowers out a little bit. Okay, I got a little glue on my shaker too. Goodness gracious. Okay, there we go. Get a little tissue. Definitely use tear and tape on the back so you don't have to mess with all this glue. Okay. Now, we'll put this on with our snail onto the card base. And this leaves it open for you to put whatever sentiment you want on the inside of the card. You don't have to add it to the outside of the card until maybe you need it for a specific reason. And then you just pop it on the inside. Okay. All right, now. And then I'm going to put some of the polka dot tulle ribbon. I'm just going to make a little bow, and we're going to glue dot that on the top. Just because I don't like that, because you don't see the stems in the middle. So that's how I'm going to cover that. Now it will be infinitely easier if you just do everything flat. If you don't put the shaker in and you just stamp and everything is flush, no big deal. Nothing sticking out farther than anything else. Which, if you don't mind that, it's fine too. You don't have to do all the fussy cutting. Okay. And I'm just going to put that right on there with some glue dots. Oh, maybe one. I think one will hold it. This is pretty sheer. Nice light ribbon. I'm just going to put it right on the very, very, whoopsie, tippy top of the jar. Did that hold it good enough? Nope. Need one more. Put two. Okay. Okay, and for the real final touch, I'm going to put some Wink of Stella on the flowers. I don't think the camera really picks up Wink of Stella very well, but it really looks pretty, because you know how flowers have like that dewy, just beautifulness to them. I love flowers. And I love the smell. The florist smell is one of the best smells in the world to me. And I'll put a little on the blue flowers too. Now these could be roses also, but I just wanted to pop up a different color in there. Okay. And there's our two cards. This one I did with the right measurements, so if that's what you like better, go for that. This one I did it but 4 1/4 this way. This one I did 4 1/2 this way. Okay, I would love it if you would subscribe. I do videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you can buy all these supplies starting June 3rd when the new catalog comes open. Again, it's Jar of Flowers and the jar punch. Okay, thank you. I really appreciate you coming by. See you next time. Bye.